Hi, my name is Kim. I'm here with One Down Dog to share a special postnatal practice with you. I say that it's special because I specifically designed this practice to be one that you could do as your first yoga practice after having a baby. It also would absolutely be appropriate to do anytime after you have a baby. It doesn't have to be the first practice back. Could also be done if you've never had a baby. It doesn't have to be exclusive to the postnatal time. But it is with that type of body story in mind. And as a long-time birth and postpartum doula, and pre and postnatal yoga teacher, and also mom of a little one myself, I feel just extra compassion and love in my heart for the new parent. It's a really crazy time, a wild ride to go from having been pregnant, passing the portal through birth, and then suddenly you arrive to this place where you don't get to sleep, you have to eat your meals really fast, you don't get to take care of yourself. So hopefully you can set aside an hour of time to do this practice. And if you don't get the full hour, that's okay. You can take breaks to breastfeed. You can always press pause, which is a really cool thing about this being recorded. Come back to it when you can. Do the parts that you like, whatever. And if this is your first practice back, and maybe it hasn't been all that long since you've had a baby, really just listen to your body. We're not doing anything too crazy, but I do want to make sure that you're not pushing past any limits or forcing your body into anything that it's not ready to do. It is, it can be quite a long recovery process after having a baby. It's very different for everybody. Everyone's experiences are different, but just honor where your body's at. This practice is about coming back to you, coming back into your body. I have made a playlist, which is totally optional to listen to if you like. I like to move with music, so I'm gonna listen to it myself, and you can find it on Spotify in the One Down Dog account. But actually, before we start it, something that I just forgot or just remembered that I wanted us to do. Wanted to just briefly talk to you about diastasis recti, which is an abdominal separation. Maybe you've heard of it. Some people get tested for that or examined for that by their doctors. A lot of people don't. Midwives sometimes check for it. Physical therapists would, but if you haven't been able to see a physical therapist, you might have no idea if that's something that's happened. It's not necessarily super common, but it does happen. So it is common to have some separation of the abdominals, and we're talking about the rectus abdominal, so like the superficial layer, and the layer of muscles that are kind of, by superficial I mean, let's say the top layer. That's normal as you expand for there to be some separation. However, it can become an issue if the muscles separate too much. That can cause all kinds of problems, from discomfort to digestive issues to low back stuff to many other things. And it's certainly something to work with a physical therapist or do healing corrective movements for yourself. So I wanted to take a minute to show you how to check yourself for that if you're curious. And then also just to let you know, all of the core work and all of the movements that we're going to do in this practice are completely safe for diastasis recti. So if you know that you do have it, as long as it's not super severe and maybe you've been told to avoid most movements, but if you have like a mild case, this is totally appropriate. Everything is safe to do with that. So the way that you check yourself for it, you come lay down on your back with your knees bent and your feet on the floor. And lift your shirt, push your pants down so that you can get right into the skin. And you're gonna be going along that linea alba, so if your skin darkened when you're pregnant, it might possibly you might have that linea negra, that dark line, if it's hasn't been all that long since you gave birth, that's the line that you're going to be kind of digging your fingers into. And, you know, depending on how much softness is there, you might have to kind of really go deep. Don't hurt yourself, obviously. You'll take a couple fingers with your dominant hand. I like to start in the space above my belly button, like a couple inches, and I just get a few fingers ready there. And you'll take a breath in. As you exhale, lift your head and see if you can wiggle your fingers down. So important is that you want to check in the moment that you lift your head. So it's like just in that very first second, because the longer that you're lifted and the longer you're holding here, you'll notice the muscles start to firm up and draw in. So we want to check for what the situation is as soon as we get up there, as soon as the head lifts. So it might take a couple of times. What you're looking for is how many fingers can you put in that space. So maybe it's just a fingertip, maybe it's one finger, maybe it's two fingers. From just a fingertip to two is super normal, especially for a postpartum body. If you're able to get like 3, 4, 5 fingers, then you would certainly, if you're getting 5 fingers in there, I would say press pause on this and find a physical therapist to work with you, because that's quite severe. But if you're able to put a lot of fingers in, you're gonna probably wanna seek some help from a professional. That would be probably a good idea. But again, if it's just a couple of fingers, it's nothing to worry about, especially two might not be that significant. If you are worried about it though, you could certainly go see a physical therapist as well. Not just how many fingers though is what we're looking for, but also how deep. So again, as you lift, is it maybe just kind of shallow as you're pressing down, or can you really go down there? So again, that might be something to consider. If you're able to go quite deep, then that's a sign that the tissues are really like stretch out or elastic and not as firm or taut as maybe they ideally should be. So would be another reason to possibly seek some help from a professional. So you're going to want to do that same check down. So going, you know, around belly button area, and you'll lift and see right in that moment. So for me, it was like about a fingertip up here, and then by the belly button, I can do like my middle finger, so it's a little bit wider, super normal. And then do the low abdominal, so in that space, you know, inch or two below your belly button. So you lift. That's a little bit firmer for me, and that might be the case for a lot of people, but everybody's bodies are different. So it is also a variation of normal to be a little more separated in one area and a little bit closer together in another. So that's how you check for that. Again, please don't freak out if you were able to put maybe 2 fingers and you're not broken. It's very possible to work with this and to heal it. So I really believe that it's possible to heal diastasis recti without surgery. You can do it with movement. Our bodies know how to heal themselves. Sometimes we just need to give them a little bit of direction, and a professional who knows a lot about this could absolutely help. So that's how you check for that. Again, this practice is totally designed for that. So let's do this practice. Grab that playlist if you're wanting to use it. Again, it's optional. You can just use no music, or if you want to put on your own favorite music, go for it. And I'll give you a little countdown so that we can be on the playlist together. So ready to press play in 3, 2, 1, press play on a love song by Garth Stevenson, and come back to reclined, lay on your back in a constructive rest. So feet to the floor, knees bent, feet are wide enough that you can knock your knees in. Rest your hands somewhere in your body. Get comfortable, soften, close your eyes. Start to take a couple big breaths here in the nose and out the mouth or nose. Just be soft, gentle with yourself. time for appreciation for this body and all of the hard work it's been doing, creating your little person and caring for them. So you deserve some time to just rest and connect and care for yourself. Just enjoying the floor, releasing your back body into it, enjoying the sensation of your breath, and the quiet stillness. Stay for several more rounds, few more, 5 or so more rounds of breath. If you'd like, you could even place your hands lovingly to your womb space or to your sweet, soft belly. That's a really comforting place for your baby, their first home, or to your heart. It's totally normal to feel a bit like a stranger in your own body after you have a baby, or to feel big emotions about what this body is like or what it's like to live in this body. So just acknowledging that, if that's where you're at, that's okay. But at the same time, all of the kind of stories that, we've culturally been told about needing to get our bodies back or bounce back after baby, frankly, it's all bullshit. You're in your body. Your body didn't go anywhere. Your body did the most incredible thing that any body can possibly do. It created a human life. So your body deserves some love, some respect, certainly. Appreciation. Give it a big breath in. Take in some fresh oxygen. Full breath out. Release maybe some negativity. Stale energy. And let's do a full body stretch. So reach those arms up overhead and the legs out in front of you. Perhaps you're really exhausted and you're probably not sleeping enough. So just yawn, stretch, breathe. And then bend the knees, bringing your feet back to the floor. And grab your block, if that's what you have, or whatever it is that you have to go. It's going to go in between your legs. So if you have a ball or rolled up blanket or whatever. So place that there. Hands come by your side. We're just going to start with some simple rocks of the pelvis. So as you inhale, you'll rock your pelvis forward and you'll feel the space between your low back and the floor exaggerate. And as you exhale, rock your pelvis back or posterior, and that space will be eliminated between the back and the floor. So rock forward and back with the breath. Inhale. Forward, exhale, back. As you rock back, you're beginning to connect to the transverse abdominis, the layer of abdominal muscles that is below the rectus abdominis. So these are the muscles that we want to be working with and healing the rectus or diastasis recti if there is any separation. So all the core work that we're going to do today is TA, transverse abdominis focused. And just as a reminder, the core is not just the abdominal muscles, but you have muscles on the side, the back, pelvic floor at the bottom, diaphragm at the top. So breathing, we're going to begin to invite our pelvic floor muscles to the party if they want to come. So inhale, pelvic floor stays relaxed. Exhale, push into the feet, engage your pelvic floor, so lift pelvic floor muscles and let the butt lift a little bit, and you're still feeling kind of taut in this space here, and then lower it back down, release, relax. So you can rock forward, exhale, rock back, and then right as the back touches the floor, engage pelvic floor, lift. You feel as you engage your pelvic floor, you should feel like the low abdominal muscles kind of turn on too. And then let that go. Let's do it 2 more times. So inhale, rock forward, exhale, back, pelvic floor lifts. So you're thinking with the pelvic floor muscle engagement, like you want to bring your clitoris and your anus closer together. I know that's graphic, but it makes sense. Or also love this image, like you're trying to suck a smoothie through a straw that's inserted into your vagina. That's a good one. Pelvic floor. Last one, this was actually 5. So you can just hold here for a breath, hug that block in. Maybe hold the pelvic floor muscle contraction. And then let it all go. You don't have to hold the breath though. Release. Make sure you release the pelvic floor. Take your hands, interlace them to the back of your head, and your elbows are going to stay open. And you still have that block there or something between your legs. If you don't have anything, that's okay. You can just imagine that your legs are hugging in. And we'll breathe in and continue with that pelvic rocking. Breathe out, pelvis rocks back. Feel the core engage. Use that engagement. Lift head and shoulders straight up. Lower down as you inhale and rock forward. Exhale, rock back, lift. It's straight up. It's not a curl and a crunch. Crunching is actually something you want to avoid when you're working and healing an abdominal separation. So just straight up and go slow. Find your breath. Exhale, lift. It's optional to incorporate the pelvic floor, but if that is kind of getting in your way, I would say let it go, because I don't want you to be tightening too much. I wouldn't want to create a situation where you're gripping. But just if that feels good to incorporate it, you're welcome to. So you're building some heat and you're reconnecting. You're stopping and taking breaks if you need them, absolutely. This is not easy necessarily. So next time that we come lifted, we'll hold. Squeeze that block in, just feeling everything connected, bringing your energy back to yourself, to your center. Take your left elbow across your body, but still up, not forward, just drawing towards the right side of the body. Can you lift your right shoulder blade off the ground? It's a lot. There may be shaking. Come back to center, open in the chest. Begin to take that right elbow across the body to the left. Try to lift the left shoulder blade off. Think hugging in at the center, bring it back, lower down, enjoy a break for a breath. Let's do it again. Exhale, pelvis rocks back, lift, stay inhale. Exhale, left towards the right side. You can do it out your mouth as you exhale. Inhale, center, exhale, right to left. Come back to center, lower down, breathe in. Exhale out, lift, stay, breathe in. Exhale, go across. Inhale, exhale, left to right. Inhale, center, and down. One more time, rock the pelvis. Exhale, engage. So low ribs and hip bones closer together. Lift, you hold, breathe in. Exhale, little twist. Not a crunch. Back to center. All this stays stable. Back to center. Hold it for one more moment. Let it go. Take a break. A breath. I'm just going to add on to that slightly. So 2 more rounds, but with a new element, which is a lift of the legs. This adds more weight, more load. So if it is too much for you, you will just return to the feet to the floor. You could also just chill and just hang out if you want to skip these last 2 rounds. So 2 rounds, exactly the same sequence, but with option to lift the legs. And make sure that you have the core engaged. So if you have the legs lifted, I would suggest to not do so much of this rocking because that's not so stable. So maybe not rocking the pelvis forward unless you have the feet down. So if the legs are lifted, that's how I'm going to show. You're hugging the block in, and you're making sure that your low back is connected to the floor. You're not forcing it down, but it's there from the from the abdominal engagement. And you will breathe in, breathe out, lift straight up. Breathe in here, left to right, little twist, back to center.
over the other way, exhale. Try to lift the bottom shoulder blade as well, back to center, and lower. Just one more time. Inhale, exhale. Make sure core is engaged. Lift up. Breathe and hold. Squeeze the legs over the other way. You can always return the feet down. I said the other way. One way, doesn't matter. Now the other way. Back to center. Let it go. Ooh, remove the block. Enjoy a rest. Maybe separate the knees. Awesome. You don't need that block anymore for now, so you can shove it out of your way. And we get a little bit more core work. So working with these pelvic tilts again, just to find that engagement of the TA, the transverse abdominis. Find that and hold it. So that's going to be maintained the whole time with this next movement. But your breath isn't going to be held, obviously. So arms by your side, feet are to the floor, knees bent. Lift one leg off the ground so shin comes parallel to the ceiling, and then lower. Other leg lifts, core stays connected the whole time, and then lower. You can do it with the breath. You can breathe in, inhale, lift, exhale, lower, or opposite. So in general, you want to exhale where there's more effort. So which one feels more effortful for you? That's where you exhale, because that is a more efficient way of connecting to the power of your core. Or it happens, the core is connected more efficiently when you exhale, I should say. So this is kind of, let's say, train car A, first option. And this might be a great place for you. And you just stay here and you keep going as long as it's feeling great. And then you can stop and rest. If you would like a little more, you'll start to switch the legs mid-air so that both feet are off the ground. And careful that your back doesn't start to peel away from the floor, just a clear sign that you're not engaging the transverse abdominis enough. I just kind of laughed because I could feel that happening to me. So take it slow. Slow is better. Slow is better to connect. So that's train car B. A little bit faster. Next option, starting the movement with the legs up and then tapping toe down and taking it back up. So this is a little bit more challenging because, again, you have more load with the legs being lifted. Maintaining the belly button drilling down towards the earth. And you could make it a little bit faster, which is going to make it maybe a little more challenging, depending on your body. So a little longer with whichever option you choose, and when you finish, or if you need breaks, you can just stop, feet to the ground, hands to your abdomen, a little appreciation, love. Try to stay away from judgment, negativity. Remember, you just did the most incredible thing a human can do. So there's no need to beat yourself up for however things are feeling. You are so strong. Strength is not just, having six-pack abs. It's not that at all. So when you're done, let's let it go. Give yourself a little hug. Maybe a rock. And then rock and roll yourself over to one side. So important thing to say, if you do have the separation, abdominal separation, you're gonna wanna avoid getting up like this at any time in your life, not just in yoga. Try to do it this way. And this is, I think, as a general rule, great for everybody, especially like right after you have a baby. My hair feels crazy, but that's okay. And carry on with it. Come to all fours. Spread your fingers, knees underneath your hips. Start to move through some cow and cat. Close your eyes. You're using this to reconnect to your body. You can do any kind of little wiggle that feels good. And you could sit back towards a child's pose if you'd like and just rest. And we're going to give our fingers and our wrists a little bit of extra love because those parts work really hard when you're caring for a little baby. All the diapers, all the baby clothes, and all kinds of things that you're doing. So find your core engagement. So imagine that the ground is here and you're kind of pressing into it. Lift the palms of your hands off the ground. Come onto your finger bones. So try to keep the thumbs down too, and the fingers are spread. You'll feel a stretch there. And you can just rock your weight all around. You could do circles or whatever way you want. Breathing, so you're likely gonna feel some sensation. And just enjoy the stretch. You can have your eyes closed. Maintain some awareness of the core so that you're not dropping your belly down and crunching your low back. And hopefully after that core work we just did, you feel a bit more connected to that part of you. So a couple more breaths while I adjust my hair here. Stretching your fingers. This is bothering me. And then bring your palms down, let things settle. Turn your hands out to the sides, fingers point away and then towards your body. So wrists and forearms now, fingers are spread. Soften the elbows, especially my hyperextending friends, I'm one of them. And lifting the belly button, ribs draw in. This might be enough, I feel it. Or you can start to lean your weight back. For more, you could also do cow and cat like this. Up to you. Just some sweet love for those forearms and those wrists that, again, working pretty hard. Also, maybe you're spending extra time on your phone, scrolling while baby sleeps on you. No shame in that. I did my fair share. Still sometimes. One more breath here. And then you ease off. Take your time to come out because it might feel a little tender. And just sit on your heels. Give wrist a squeeze, maybe a little movement. And the other one, squeeze it, move it around. Wiggle your fingers, roll. Roll the shoulders. Come to kneeling, inhale, stretch up. Exhale, land the hands back to the floor. Extend your right leg back behind you. All 5 toes point towards the floor. Extend your left arm out in front of you. Hand faces the inside of your body. As you inhale, tap hand and foot down. Exhale, lift them up. Reverse that breath. Exhale down, inhale up. And hold. Check in with the core. And of course, sitting the ribs. Keep the back of the neck long, look slightly forward of your mat. One more breath, you got it. Okay, bring that left hand down. Bend the right knee. Keep that knee hugging in towards your body. Take little pulses. We'll go for about 10. I'm just pulsing the sole of your foot up towards the sky. A little bit of love for the glutes to help protect the low back. I lost count. That might have been 10. Extend the leg. Come towards a down dog. We haven't done one yet, so it might feel funky. And you can just shake out that leg, moving around. So full disclosure, let's really get into it. If you extend your leg up really high and you had a vaginal birth, or even if you didn't, you might feel some air rush in. If that happens, totally fine, you're at home. No one is gonna know. Let that air out. It's super normal after you have a baby. Something that is probably not talked about enough. Definitely happened to me. Come on to just a regular down dog. Enjoy a good breath in and out. Press your chest back a little bit towards your thighs.
And lower back down. Just come to sit for a second to release wrists and shoulders. And breathe. Come back to all fours. So let's do side two. So I'm gonna turn my body the other way, but you can stay as you are. Left leg, right arm. Bring it down, lift it up. And just breathing as it feels good, and then you can try to challenge your brain, because it's always good to do that, to switch the pattern of your breath. So go do the opposite of what you were doing. And the whole time we're connected to the core, so we don't want to be drooping down, lifting it up. It's more effort, yes. More protected, stable. Hold, breathe. Reach those limbs apart from one another. Bring that hand down, bend your leg, knee hugs in, foot to the sky, approximately 10 pulses. You can exhale as you pulse if you want to, out your mouth. Still connected and stable in your abdominal muscles. Little heat in the glutes. Bring that foot down, press to a one-legged dog. The leg can be low, you don't have to lift it high. Just release it, shake it out, play around. Down dog. Be here, breathe. Maybe some nice breaths in the nose and out the mouth, even a sigh. Or any other kind of sound. Good, enjoy 2 more breaths here. From your downward facing dog, come up onto your toes. You're gonna walk your feet towards your hands. I'm gonna do a wrist stretch. If you have blocks, they might come in handy here. Otherwise, you're gonna need to bend your knees quite a bit. Take the tops of your hands on blocks if you have them. Fingers point towards your body. And stretch. You can let your head go if you want. Bend in the knees if needed. Or you're gonna place the hands either directly to the floor or under the feet. And if you go under the feet, really go for it so that the toes touch all the way to the wrist creases. And you can bend your elbows towards your shins and breathe here. Love for those wrists. Undo your hands from wherever they are. Inhale, lengthen the spine halfway. Hands can come to your shins and actively pull your shoulders away from your ears. Fold back down, exhale. Toe heel the feet so they're wider. Soften the knees. Take the hands behind you, interlace your hands. Bring the hands in close to one another. Shoulders pull away from the ears, head drops down. Lift your hands to the sky. Shoulder stretch. Oh, how the shoulders and chest get so tight after you have a baby. If you're nursing or even if you're bottle feeding, or you're just looking at them all the time, you're rounding. Give it some love, some deep breaths. Feel free to straighten the legs if you so desire. Release the hands down to your low back first. To the floor, adjust the feet so they're underneath your hips, parallel. All 10 toes face the front. And fold. Inhale, lift halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. So think about that core connection, a nice flat back. Bring the hands behind you and interlace them again. Shoulders pull back. Exhale, release the hands, fold. Inhale, rise to the sky. Exhale, bend your elbows to the side. Cactus, maybe a baby back bend. Inhale, reach back up. Dive it down, exhale. Inhale, extend. Hands behind you, interlace the flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale to the sky. Cactus the arms, exhale. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, lift. Dive it down, exhale.
Inhale, long back, shoulders pull back. Fold it, Uttanasana. Urdhva Hastasana to the sky. Cactus, hold. Spread those fingers, drop your ribs, but spread across your chest and your collarbones. One more breath here, you got it. Release the arms. Bend your knees, sit down into a chair pose. A little bit of love again for your butt. Interlace your hands behind you. Find that open chest shoulder stretch. Maybe sink a little bit deeper. Keep the chest feeling open. Undo the arms. Bring your left arm on top of your right. Eagle arms. So you can ravel them or hands to your shoulders. Stand up, breathe in. Exhale, sit down low. Option to bow and curl. Inhale, stand up. Exhale. Bow and curl or just sit. One more. Come all the way up, unravel. Stretch up to the sky. Release the arms by your side. Sit into chair pose. Weight in the heels. Interlace hands behind you. Maybe flip which hand's on top. Think about ribs drawing in, so still staying connected to our centers. Undo those arms, right arm on top. Drop the shoulders away from your ears. Make space for big gaudy earrings. Stand up, inhale. Sit down, exhale. Two more. Stand up, undo it, stretch it out. Dive it down, exhale. Halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog for a couple of breaths, or take a child's pose or just a seated position. Whatever's feeling best to you. Maybe you close your eyes and you just reconnect so the movement got a little fast. Heart rate might have risen a little bit. Slow down your breath. Lower down to hands and knees when you're ready. So we're gonna do a little bit of strengthening work for the upper back. As I mentioned, that rounding forward that we do when we're staring at our precious baby overextends the muscles in the upper back. So you might be feeling your upper back, feeling really tender, achy. So we're gonna strengthen those muscles. These are our scapula push-ups. So the core stays engaged, or the abdominal muscles, I should say, stay engaged. You're on your hands and knees. But you drop your chest down like you're flossing, like straight down, shoulder blades, the wings hug in, and then you push up. You'll see I'm rounding a little bit in my upper back. Now be mindful of your head and neck, because I can pretty much guarantee that you're probably feeling your neck these days too, sore. So we wanna avoid just like dropping it down. Keep it lifted. Just stay connected to the sense of your spine. So you remember that your neck is a part of the spine too. So it's one big extension. The arms stay straight. They might softly bend. So a few more. You should be feeling all those muscles around the shoulder blades starting to just heat up. We're kind of trying to keep the ribs hugging in. Fabulous. Let's do like one more. Just take a break for the shoulders. You can roll them out on the wrists. Down dog, one breath. In, out. Lower your left leg down. Extend your right leg out. Left leg can kickstand behind you. Stay on the left hand, and then curl and reach that right arm up. Straight up, roll out the wrist. Take a look at it. Gate pose variation of Parigasana. Take that hand to the back of your head. Hold it. Lift the elbow. Let yourself curl a little bit. Feel the stretch along your armpit, the side body. Maintain. connection and awareness of your TA. So think about your ribs and your ribs moving towards your hip bones as if you were doing all that core work we did on the ground, finding that same thing. Connect to the pelvis too. So it's a slight posterior tilt of the pelvis, like you're taking your pubic bone forward. Arm up to the sky, inhale, reach it overhead, exhale, inhale here. Exhale, pull that arm by your side, like you're pulling on something with resistance. So working and strengthening around the shoulder again. And then the supporting arm, you're really holding yourself up, spread into the fingers, use the finger pads. A couple rounds like this. And release. You can choose arm overhead or to the sky. Option, maybe move that bottom hand a little bit in front of you and lift the leg. This is just an option if you want to play. Moment of flying. Woo! Use core, abdominal muscles. Take it down. Pause. Down dog. Or spend more time releasing your wrist. Just one breath in down dog, in and out. I'm gonna turn my body so that I'm not with my back to you. You'll lower your right leg down and your left leg will extend, or do, whatever your second side is. I didn't mirror on the other side, so if you're on the different side, it's fine. Take that arm up, roll the wrist. And take the hand to the back of the head, lift up through the elbow and let yourself curl a little bit, stretch. Press into that pointer finger knuckle and the pinky finger knuckle and finger pads. Inhale, arm to sky, exhale overhead. Stay for the inhale, exhale, pull it to the side. Make a fist, create resistance. Inhale, exhale. This whole time stays firm. Look wherever feels good on your neck. So good. One more for good measure. And then, whatever you want to do with that top arm, option to find a moment of balance. Breathing. Very active leg that's extended. Let it go. Take that moment of break. Roll the wrist, shake it out. And then when you're ready, head back to downward facing dog. For just a couple more breaths. If you want to dance it around a little bit in your dog because that feels good, do it. And then come down towards a child's pose when you're ready. If you need to bring something under your head, please feel free, prop or stack the forearms. Settle your pelvis heavily towards the earth and soften the muscles of the pelvic floor. Slow, deep breaths here. Good. Last breath in your child's. And you're gonna just slide yourself forward to come onto your belly. Or lower, however makes sense. We're gonna do a quadricep stretch here. So you can make a pillow, stacking the forearms. There's a lot of sedentary time when you have a baby. So sitting so much is really hard on your quadriceps, on the fronts of your thighs. They get really tight because they're like living in a contracted state. So let's open them up. Bend one leg, reach back to grab the foot, however you can, or if you need to, use something to help you, like a strap or something. And you can rest your head on that bottom forearm or on the floor. And think pubic bone into the floor, tailbone reaches behind you. Breathing. If this is not a deep enough stretch for your liking, lift up to your forearm with your elbow under your shoulder, and this forearm can go diagonal or wherever. Shoulders square to the front. This is quite a bit more intense. So if it's too much, go back to forehead to the floor. Soften around your jaw. There shouldn't be tightening happening in your teeth, so space between, especially the molars. If you can, soften your butt too, but maintaining that extension of your tailbone. Last breath in. Exhale, let it go. Just find a good rest. Crocodile pose. You can rest on one cheek or forehead to floor. Feel free to give your butt a little jiggle. Side two, opposite leg bends. Grab the foot however you can. Again, you can just stay head down. That's a great version, or lift up. A little bit more intense. And just enjoy the stretch, breathing. Last breath in, exhale it out, and release. Crocodile pose, let it go. Even let your toes turn in if that feels good. Good, if you turned your toes in, bring them back so that all 5 or all 10, you have 10 toenails. Probably, I'm not going to assume, but all of your toenails pressing down on the floor. My grandpa only has 9, so if he was taking this class, he won't, but take your hands off the sides of your mat, fingertips to the floor like little tent hands, elbows wide. Let's do a little juicy wide cobra lift. So roll it up as you inhale. Don't go so high that it hurts your back. So if you feel pain in your back, lower and roll it down as you breathe out. Inhale, and shoulders are back. Exhale. And just like 2 more. Really sweet. You can move your head around. Come back to that resting place when you're done. Let it go. Maybe windshield wiper your legs, or again, give your hips a little bit of a squiggle around. So we'll do one more belly back bend, locust pose. Reach back to interlace the hands, or you can just have them by your sides. And you're pulling the shoulders away from your ears and checking in with your neck. So head might still be on the floor, but when you lift it, you want it to be aligned with the rest of your spine. Press the tops of the feet down, press the pubic bone down. You'll feel a little bit of a firming in the glutes, lifting your heart space. Arms pull back. Check in with that neck. So you don't want to be dropping the head or cranking the back of the neck. Isn't going to feel good either. So long back of the neck. Maybe lift the legs. Just a couple breaths. Maybe you haven't spent a ton of time in your belly since being pregnant, so it might feel weird or kind of good. Remember, it was still like a treat for a while after having my baby to get to just lie on my belly. One more breath. Let it go. Last time resting here. And then press yourself up to a down dog or a child's pose, whatever's gonna feel better to release your low back.
And when you're ready, just come to a seated position. Any seated position if you'd like, that you would like. Again, little, just taken away by this song, if you're listening to this playlist, this Rye song that's playing right now, Wasted, was a song that I remember at the end of my pregnancy, just for some reason made me cry, especially this line going through some changes. And I put it on my birth playlist, and I remember during my labor, it coming on and just like crying and singing along while in labor. So just being transported back to that moment. Let's take a breath in and a breath out. So we're gonna give our necks some well-deserved love and care. Drop your right ear over towards your shoulder. Actually, come back to center. I'm gonna lift the chin first. A little bit of a stretch of the throat, which might feel good. And then take right ear to right shoulder. So aiming for scalenes is muscles in the side of the neck. And you can extend that opposite arm out or keep it down. Keep the shoulder moving down. You can use your hand to help if you need. And just breathe and hold. Soften your jaw, soften your eyes, perhaps close them. And then begin to introduce some movement. So just move your chin around, forward, back, side to side, maintaining this little tilt though. Just moving all around, exploring. Go really gentle. The neck is a complicated place full of tenderness, especially when you have a baby. Open your mouth wide, stretch your jaw too. Stick out your tongue maybe. Maybe yawn. That might just happen. Like it did for me. And then bring your head back to center. You can use your opposite hand to help it up if you need. And just pause, be here. Let's go to side two. Lift the chin, left ear to left shoulder. You might notice this side just feels different than the other. This is my tighter side right now. I feel like I have a lot less range of motion. You might extend that arm out. Breathe. Keep that right shoulder. I don't know, I think I messed up the directions. Yeah, right shoulder should be left ear down, or whatever side you're on. Opposite shoulder is moving down, away from the ear. You could stay here if you need it, or start to explore movement. Slowly, don't force anything. Breathe deeply. Awareness if you're clenching in your jaw. Loosen it up, open it up, blubber the lips. Stick out your tongue, whatever. Keep it loose there. And then when you're done, help that sweet head back up. Just a little bit of work for the back of the neck. So this is more engaging the muscles in the back of the neck, but it's mellow. Take the hands to the back of your head. And then elbows can stay wide. Push your hands into your head, push your head back into your hands. So from that forward looking down, again, the muscles in the back of the neck are kind of constantly extended. So we want them to contract and engage and strengthen. Couple breaths here. Totally normal if you feel things shaking. You also might feel your shoulders here. And then letting your hands go. And your head just settle. And then when you're ready, you're going to come down to reclined. Bring anything. Actually, if you have blocks, have those handy. Or pillows, whatever you have it all handy. So we'll come down first come to the side and then roll down. A little hug in.
And a quick little recline twist. So you can put, I really like to do this, something between your thighs. Drop both knees to the side and open the arms wide. Just a couple breaths. I like this extra pelvic support. It's just an option. Blanket would work too. Come back to center. Go the other way. You can slide your hips in the opposite direction of the knees. Bring it back to center. Hug your knees in. And if you're ready for Shavasana and want to just head there now, you can head right into it and maybe support under your knees. That's my favorite way to do Shavasana, with a pillow or a blanket. If you would appreciate a supported back bend, roll to your side and grab what you've got. If you have 2 blocks, I suppose you could say that's ideal, but it isn't ideal for everybody. It might be too much. And you would bring one underneath your shoulder blades and one under your head. You probably would want to adjust hair, take ponytails out and stuff. And you can keep the knees bent, extend the legs. But it also would work well to do this just over like a pillow or a couple pillows. So bringing your low back to them and lying back. And I would actually prefer maybe 2 pillows over just this one, but this is what I've got. And again, legs can be as you'd like them to be. And this is our final pose. So if you want to finish in the supported heart opener, that's totally cool, especially because you're likely spending a lot of time rounding forward. Or again, just go to Shavasana, finish with a more neutral position. But close your eyes. Soften your body. Take a deep breath in, sweet breath out your mouth. And enjoy this rest that you so much deserve. This amazing body of yours that has done and continues to do so much deserves some time to rest and fill up. So take that now. Releasing gripping, finding ease, filling up your tank. Bring yourself back to your body and to your breath. If you've been in the heart opener, especially on blocks, come out, rolling to the side, and then come flat to your back just for a few moments of letting things neutralize. Again, deepen your breath.
and deepen your awareness of it. And you're absolutely welcome to just stay here if you like. You don't have to come up to a seat. Maybe if you get a little extra time, maybe your baby's asleep, maybe you stay and fall asleep yourself if you can. Otherwise, if you'd like to reawaken, start to move, roll out your wrists, your head side to side. And stretch through your arms up or overhead or out to the sides, whatever. Draw the knees in one at a time to your chest. Give yourself a hug, maybe a rock side to side. And then roll to the side and eventually press up. Come sitting any way you want. And let's finish with this sweet gesture. Left hand to heart space, right hand to womb space. Close your eyes. Feel your energy, your power, your sparkle, your light. One last moment to acknowledge how awesome your body is and you are doing this really hard journey of parenthood. You're doing it. Honor that with a deep breath in and a breath out. Hands to your heart, little bow. Namaste. Thank you so, so much for doing this practice with me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it felt good in your body. You could come back to it if you want, since it's recorded. That's really cool. And enjoy the rest of your day.